Hello.
Hey.
Hi. Doing?
Girl, it's the middle of the week. I'm ready for it to be over with.
Yep, that right there.
This storm is literally rolling in on top of me right now. So I might be here for 3 minutes. Like 30 seconds ago, it started. Like
so
it's
really down that way.
It's on top of us right now. So
okay.
I'm charging all my stuff and I may just like be in the bed in a minute. So hey y'all.
Hey.
Trying to figure, I need to turn off my speaker. Okay.
Tell you what I need to do. I need to bring this microphone a little closer to my mouth because then it'll be sounding like I'm
that lightning. Jesus be offense.
Yeah, that storm. How's everybody been? Everybody been safe?
Yeah, we haven't had anything all day. It literally, when I say in the past 90 seconds, that's the only weather we've had all day. In the past 90 seconds, it started. And I don't know if you can hear it. It is brutal outside right now. Like
I can kind of hear the wind kind of blowing a little bit, but not like.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's brutal. I didn't think we were going to get anything.
Yeah, like I was prepared for all of it, you know, to come this way, and had to cancel my nail appointment. I'm still upset about that.
Oh, poor Pookie.
I'm so mad.
My nails so bad. My nails so bad.
I got a bootleg nail on here. Y'all know I don't do bootleg nails. That's not what I do. No, I'm joking. Anyway, so y'all, today we're going to go ahead and recap Love and Marriage Huntsville. This episode was called I'ma Fix My Life. Baby, I'ma could not fix a life. I'ma was not ready for this type of life. No. And let me just tell you, you need a heavy hitter when you're dealing with those.
You need a Yamla, and I know she's retired.
Yeah, but they probably should have gone and paid her about $5-10 more to say, come on out here real quick.
Special request.
Listen.
$10 more.
$5-10 more, whatever it took, $5-10 more, because baby, what they was not finna do today, because they steamrolled all over that baby. They, you know, they was like, oh, okay, what is this? This sitting on the ground stuff. I'm like, okay, so y'all don't understand what grounding yourself is. Y'all don't understand any of that stuff. She was speaking a whole different language that they wasn't ready for. The younger would have made them do. She would have been like, sit here.
Right.
Like, okay.
Sit in it. Sit
on this ground, baby. Feel this earth. Put this grass in your mouth. Shut up.
and you know, y'all always preface it with, at the end of this process, you might not like me.
I started to tell my clients that at this point, I go, at the end of this process, if somewhere probably in 54 minutes, you may not like me. And that's because Yama said so.
And that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb.
That's on Mary Had a Little Lamb,
And
baby.
melodies from heaven. Yeah.
And I will see you next week, boo.
Same time, same place. Be there.
Right.
So what time you booking this appointment for so I can go and block the rest of the day? That's what you need with people like that. Those women there have very deeply rooted issues that really have nothing to do. I think a lot of their deeply rooted issues have little to do with each other. And it's just that it seems that this is the yeah, that causes everything to show up in a life. So anyway, this episode again, I don't like comparing other shows, but I am today. Still catches my attention. Still gives me something to speak on, to talk about. It's still very much a show that I look forward to looking at because there is something different that we're going to see, and we can see an actual change happen. We can see movement happening every episode,
Right.
you know, as opposed to some other own shows.
What you say? I ain't gonna call no names.
I won't call names. The storm that took Andrea out of here.
Oh, Andrea, she told us it's probably gonna be 3 minutes. She told us.
But we got her for them hot 3 minutes, and we sure appreciate her for joining us tonight. So this is what that episode was about. It was very much, like I said, it's the start of something. It definitely won't help everything to be. There's not going to be any resolution.
No,
time soon. There just will not be any resolution. So, I think we know this, but I'm not sure at this point they know this.
I don't even think it's a they involved. I think Mel and Tisha don't think that there is any type of resolve. I think everybody else is in denial.
Okay.
Around them are in denial about this situation.
Okay.
I kind of think that Mel has finally, after this episode, I think Mel has just resolved that Tisha gonna stay in her
Tisha
with me mode, and Mel is just not gonna do. She over it, you know. Yeah. I think basically everybody's over Tisha's ass right now, though. Like even though her husband is over her.
Yeah. I feel like everybody's kind of at the same point with Tisha, like how I said, okay, let me just tell y'all the difference. Like I said with Baby Girl on our favorite toxic show, Married at First Sight. Like how I'm frustrated with what's her name, with Paige. Because Paige is 26. So I'm frustrated with her as I would be frustrated with my own child.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I'm just ready to take Tisha out back and have one of those, what they used to call it back in the day when I first joined sororities and stuff in the 90s. They would call it a bitch session. You get together, you sit their asses down, you tell them what's going on so we can go and move forward.
From this point.
And it wasn't because you calling somebody a bitch. You go ahead and get your bitching over with. And I feel like that's what she really wants somebody to listen to her over and over again. But she don't really have points. Because the other problem with Tisha is that she doesn't want to listen to anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
She wants
for her mama.
Yeah, definitely just like her mom. So that's the biggest issue with Tisha, is that she don't really feel like she any of the problem. And even her husband be like, you sure you don't think you the problem?
Right. If you go back and rewind that conversation, what do you think happened?
The problem?
And the bad part about it is he ain't never been my favorite because he irritates me.
Right.
But I got
this season, he has won some points with me, though.
Giving me life. Do you understand me?
He has won some points. Like, I am not a Marceau fan.
Never.
This season, I'm like, you know what, bro? I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give it to you.
Because you done gave him a hall pass, and I don't know about that.
Oh, Lord.
She done gave him a hall pass. I'm like, wait a minute. What?
I did. You know what? Probably because I never was really a big Tisha fan anyway. but I've just gotten to the point where I can't stand her.
Yeah.
So it's almost like whatever Marcel do, I'm like, okay, yep, go ahead.
Ain't got nothing to do
Y'all
with
deserve each other.
what you say. Be safe, make good choices. That's about where it gets with them. And I think that just all of us are just tired of that. So let's go ahead and get started with this episode because I just kind of want to jump into a few things. We've already 13 minutes in. Y'all know how I like to do my time.
We do.
Last if you want to. That's okay. So I got my green shirt, my green plant, my green lipstick, and all that. And I got my green cup. So
green today. Just green.
Oh yeah. I ain't nowhere near Irish. Okay.
It's all right. Down the line somewhere.
We all are.
She said
somewhere in life.
I'm doing one of them ancestry things. I ain't gonna do the ancestry.com. I'm gonna do the other one.
My mama is from the according to her ancestors, she's from the UK, so we ain't quite Irish.
But the UK ruled the Irish, so there you go.
So there you go. Yes, that was our people. Somewhere in there. Hence the curly hair. I don't know. I'm supposed to be like, that's why I got curly hair. Like, oh, okay.
It works.
Right. Yeah, like, oh, okay. Just so okay. That's why I got green eyes. Like, really?
I can't.
Anyway, so Marceau is over at Black, and that's the cigar bar that he and Letitia owns. And while he is doing his kind of final touches with his architect, and she's kind of talking to her about maybe opening up a brunch bar as well, which I need to know when that's going to open. Anyway,
a trip to Huntsville. I ain't playing.
Waffles and
waffles
with some maple syrup,
mimosas, cigars, and that's after we done took care of all the girl business. Like, look, who we riding out to see? Okay, cool. Waffles in Huntsville,
right?
Okay,
In Huntsville.
Yeah, so they're discussing the missed camping trip. Of course, Martel's just kind of letting Marceau know what's going on. You can tell that they're, he has this conversation, which I thought it was a good conversation to have with Martel at the time. But I think what got me was when he was like, I just wish y'all would hit rock bottom. Like, I'm just waiting on y'all to hit rock bottom. And I think that I get what he was trying to say, but I wish he had chosen better words, But, they were talking about how there's going to be a lot of fallout from the divorce. And, financially it's going to hit you. Emotionally it's going to hit you. So, yeah. And Martel was like, "Hey, I am at rock bottom right now. I don't know what y'all. I'm already there." He's like,
47 acres is on hold. Right.
You just need to go on and hit it so you can go make your way back up. And I thought that was an oddly interesting conversation. So let's talk about it.
Okay.
You know what? I kind of feel like he used that wording strategically though. Because when he said it, I was like, that ain't nothing to tell your boy. But by the same token, I think he used that particular phrase simply because Martel, as smart as he is, he's dumb.
He's very dumb.
So you almost have to break things down as you would with a child or someone who is not all the way there, to make them understand you got to hit the ground before you can rise. Because right now you got so many different things going on, and Martel is for show. He wants to appear that he got it all together. He wants it to appear that things are not as bad as they are. But let's just face it, dude, you need to go ahead and crumble.
Yeah.
Because all of this is your doing. So now for every action, there is a reaction. You've done a lot of shit, pimping. So I feel like Marceau used the word, you need to hit rock bottom, because he needs him to understand it's okay for you to crumble. just don't stay there, because at some point you need to go ahead and get back up.
Yeah.
Right.
Stop fronting. I think that's, for me, I think strategically after he kind of explained where he was going with it.
I agree. I really think I'm tired of Martell going on this pity party tour though. This is killing me. Like, sir, everybody, we all know what you did. You don't need to blame nobody because it's making you look worse. I need you to think about what you have done, let it marinate, and say, you know what, I shouldn't have did that. This is why we're here. We wouldn't have been here if I hadn't have done that. But I get it. I get where he was trying to go with it, and I do agree. I do think it was strategic because I had to listen to it again. I was like, hold on, what type of motivational speech is this? So yeah, I agree with that. I think he meant to say what he said.
Yeah.
To get him, because some way, somehow, somebody's gonna have to get through to him so that he can see that I'm wrong. His mama done told him he ain't shit. His bestie done told him he ain't shit. The Cedric, whatever that boy name is, done told. Like, everybody around you is saying wrong. Whatever his name is, Cedric, Circus. I don't know what the man's name is.
Cialis, whoever they are.
Whoever it is.
I was like,
the dude on the camping trip, they be trying to get them to get together, and we be like, what's your purpose? Him.
That dude.
Everybody. Maurice, like, dude, what you doing? Everybody is asking these questions like, sir, I don't care what Mel didn't do. What did you do? And I need you to own it. And but you don't understand the man. Now, let me say this. I'm gonna put this disclaimer in there. Technically, they are still married. So although a legal separation, and I don't know how legally they moved with that, a legal separation is not, in my opinion, if it's legal, it's not binding. So that means I can entertain a couple of Negroes over here. I don't have to do nothing, but I can entertain a couple of people over here. Cause listen, Mel said I ain't going back, and I kind of believe her this time. I ain't going back. So, so to me, I think so. I get a lot of people like, well, y'all technically still married, so that's cheating. If they legally separated, they got the money to legally separate. I don't know. Okay, you finna tell me I'm wrong. Go ahead.
No. I ain't finna tell you wrong. I'm just gonna add to it. So this is what you have to understand. By the time people have made it to a separation and a divorce, they have already mentally, emotionally,
they're gone. They're checked out.
Ended the relationship. It's just a formality of paperwork. So a lot of people, because I hear folks all the time like, I wouldn't date anybody that's separated, this and that. And I'm like, child, folks will be separated to kingdom come because, it probably costs too much to divide assets and stuff. You have to understand and interpret what works for you.
Right.
Like I tell y'all all the time, I don't tell you whether it's right or wrong. I just tell you how to do it. Yeah. That's my job. My job is not to judge your situation, because if y'all have mutually agreed to separate, and it's just a matter of paperwork, then if you are not living in the same household,
y'all ain't together,
then again, it's a matter of a piece of paper.
Right.
Now, if y'all one of them people that just have separate households and y'all just come together every holiday, you might want to let people know
optics.
And be like, that's just my husband over there. He's just coming over for the weekend.
My grandmom and my granddaddy.
They just be there. If that's what y'all do, if that's how it works, that's how you make the relationship work, have at it. More power to you. Not my business. But I feel like, but I'm with you on that. I feel like they had already decided that they were going to mutually separate. And I think at that point, she decided to move on. Even though we ain't got to that part yet. She decided to move on.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
In her mind and in her heart, She was like, I wasn't going back. I want to talk to this dude. But I think that what ended up happening was when they decided to try to work it out for the kids, she kind of stopped, she stopped short of, really actually having
A
a,
relationship.
an actual relationship. So to me, having somebody's phone number and talking things through, a lot of people do that and they don't have any intention in being in a relationship. They just want somebody to hear them, and they end up going back to their spouses and everything. That's a part of life. And if you hold that against somebody, then you ain't never been in high school, junior high, middle school, or anything like that, because that's all that was phone conversations. So,
And I think too, in his mind, that gave him permission to continue to do with the wrong that he was doing. Oh, well, you cheated too.
he justifies his whole thing upon what everybody else doing. It was like, oh, them 47 acres. Oh, I'm gonna go back over here to old girl. Oh, I chipped my toe. Let me go on and head back.
Mm-hmm.
I know he is one of those people that will make an excuse for everything. And I know I had this conversation also, kind of skipping around that. Do I think that if they got back together, would this be it? Like, would he actually straighten up? I don't believe some people. And here's the thing. And it's the truth of the matter is some people are just not naturally monogamous, but you need to know that up front so you'll know what type of person that can deal with that. And if you're not naturally a monogamous person, there's nothing wrong with it, but you do have to have a partner that is in the know, but is also, ready to accept that. And then you need to redefine the relationship based on how it works for y'all. So if that's what y'all do, y'all have full blown hall passes, y'all do whatever, you have your rules set up, your rules of engagement set up, then do that. Yeah. But make sure that everyone has the opportunity to know that that's what the thing is.
Mm-hmm.
So,
that's his pathology. He not gonna change.
No.
He thinks every little reason to go do what he wants to do. And it's never gonna be his fault. It's always gonna be somebody else, because he doesn't have the sense enough to know that people understand that you're a grown man and everything that you do is a decision that you made.
Yeah.
And it ain't nobody else's fault. You did that because that's what you wanted to do.
That's what you wanted to do. Well, while we talking about it, let's go ahead and move over. So Marlene, which is Martell's mom, comes over to Mel's house. And they just kind of have a little conversation. Melody's like, Chad, I made the roast that I like for you to cook. So it's nice. You could tell they have a really good relationship. And I like to see that when it comes to in-laws and everything, you can tell that there is no bad blood between them, even with everything going on. She just sat there and listened while, Melody gave her, side of everything, and, telling her about, I had my little boo thing for about 3 weeks and I let it go. And I'm like, girl, 3 weeks, that ain't worth talking about.
Y'all ain't no boo thing.
But she brought that up because that's all Marcel wants to say. She cheated on me. She didn't cheat on you.
Well, she had somebody's phone number.
Right. And I think, didn't he try to this summer when he was on the live with Dr. Heavenly? Didn't he try to didn't he say that she had an abortion?
Oh, so here's the thing with that. He went all the way back to like her collegiate years or something like that. He was really divulging her private information that was from before all these other kids and everything. Like he, and it didn't even have anything to do with what's going on now. It was about, some years ago when they were in school. I'm like, so we just gonna violate HIPAA all day. That's what we're
gonna do. I want to say why Dr. Heavenly was like,
because she's messy.
I'm finna say messy. I can't see Heavenly.
I don't trust nothing with Heavenly, but that's another story too. That's half the reason why I don't watch Married to Medicine.
I was about to say she is part of the reason I do not watch that show.
Yeah, long as she gonna stay on there, I won't be watching anymore.
I got you.
But that's he got with somebody that's just as messy as him, and they went on to tell this girl's business. So, and my thing is, regardless if she had an abortion today, yesterday, last week, 3 months
That's
ago,
her
last year,
business.
whatever, that wasn't your business to tell.
Yeah.
Just like Chris' business wasn't to tell about the old girl. And anyway, next,
Absolutely. That's another story for another time. Yeah.
Stop it. Okay. So upon this conversation, she talks to Martell's mom, who's talking about, you can tell she's outdone about this new baby coming, especially because it's not their baby. But she said, well, it's my grandchild, and I would treat him the same way I treat my other grandchildren. And that's the day Melody found out that Martell's having a boy with this
Lady.
mistress. And I felt like she was very hurt. You could tell that it wasn't even that it was a baby, but it was a boy. Of all babies to have, a whole boy. And you could say, I saw her look, I could feel her heart break. I could see it in her face and hear it in her voice that she was that really got to her.
Because I think she herself would have liked to have given him another boy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ain't that sad?
That's real sad.
Yeah, because I ain't built like that. I'd be like, we're going to get what we get. Yeah, you get one or two choices here. You shoot this way, shoot that way. I mean, what you ain't. But
oh God.
People be disappointed because they do get hung up on the baby's sex. And I hate that for a lot of people, because I wish that there was not disappointment added to the fact that, we may have more of the same.
I just wanted mine healthy. As long as they were healthy, I ain't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do I want to put them out every once in a while? Sure. But
daily. Yeah.
They're healthy. They're here.
That's how it be, daily, but okay. She also tells Marlene that he is trying to go for full custody, and I guess he wants you to help him raise it. She was like, let me tell you something, Mama Hope don't raise no babies. I don't know.
Mama Hope is retired, okay, and trying to live my best life.
Not in these streets. Not in these streets. She said, I got my own streets to be ripping and running in. I ain't got time to be fooling with y'all babies. And I ain't got to tell Martell nothing, because he already know. I ain't finna be watching these babies. And that's the thing. I heard her say, I feel like he gonna push these kids aside so he can spend time with that baby. So it's a lot of stuff there. They really need some counseling so that they can be amicable during this split up, and so that they can be, very
I think
good.
it's gonna take time, though. I don't think that. I think it's gonna take a whole lot of time, because he's done so much BS. It's not even funny.
Yeah,
so much.
Cheating is one thing. Making it your pattern is another thing. Producing a life because of this pattern is a whole nother level
thing.
And just like she said, you weren't just cheating, you had a whole nother life.
A whole nother life.
Mm-hmm.
Like what Tisha say earlier?
Every once in a while.
Yeah.
This was your woman.
What Tisha say, that got matching BMWs?
Yeah, I got matching BMWs. She's so quick to tell everybody business. Happy.
Deal with your husband and his mistress that he got the matching BMWs with.
They like, be quiet now, little girl. Hush, because if somebody blow your game up, then your feelings gonna be hurt.
As per usual.
Her mama done already followed her husband to the bar once, so
I'm just saying, and probably the reason why she following him, because she trying to be in his face, but whatever.
I thought that too, but I'm go ahead, keep going.
Y'all thought she want to jump my soap bones.
Hell yeah!
I ain't never thought of it like that. I just thought it was
no. Look at how she looks at him. So this is one of those pick up on body language type of things. Yeah, that's my daughter's dude or whatever. But I'm young enough that I could probably get it in
But she
too.
not.
If well, that's how she feel. And so the other thing about it is that he got all this going on. That's why he this and that, he that, none of that. And in her mind, she's like, damn, he fine. And so, it's the thing of I can't cross this line because you my daughter's dude, but I can place doubt in her mind so she can't have him either.
And her ass is low down enough to do exactly that.
Mm-hmm.
With her husband and her boyfriend.
And you got to think about the fact that when he even pay her a half compliment.
You see how she smiles when he
I
talks?
got to go, baby. Now y'all gonna have me side-eyeing Miss Wanda even more than I already do.
He looked up and he said, "You thicker than a snicker, ain't it?" And you look at her face when she's down.
Baby, she went upstairs and did the snake, the cabbage patch, and the running man when she was out of earshot.
I can't, God. I can't. Okay.
I'm just telling you.
That is disgusting.
Well, that's life. That's like you act like you didn't grow up in the Maury and Jerry Springer.
I did. No. In Jerry Springer era, you're correct.
This is what they do.
But that's just
Tisha finna be writing one of them letters to Zane. My mama slept with my man.
Jerry.
I'm telling you, I'm like, listen, and like I always tell y'all, I just go off of intuition, and that's usually all I get. I ain't got nothing else that's considered anything else. But I just feel like there is a bit of tension from her because I think she does have a slight attraction to him, just when you're looking at everything. I think that there is some attraction there.
Like he can get it if he tried hard enough.
Lordy be.
That's how it be. All right, let's move on because since we're talking about them, we might as well talk about this little dinner in the bubble that they had. And she just wanted to let Marcel know that
I think you're doing what's the name accent from.
But they all sounded like to me. I wanted to let Marcel know that he is.
There you go. That's a little more.
I mean, that's what it sounds like. All of them sound like they are in the same range. They sound like it's the same tempo. It's the same cadence. I don't know what this is.
Even.
I don't. But they went to dinner. She was talking about how important he is and how, she really thought about the accident. They could have lost each other and she could have lost him. And, I just want to let you know some things. And it's funny because after all that thanking you and everything, he was like, you can go and be a stay-at-home mom. Really, basically what he said was, I don't need you doing none of the stuff that you do. I just need you raise these kids.
I thought that. I was like, he's still out there.
He went back to the song that we know and hate.
Oh, yeah. We love to hate him. We absolutely love to hate him.
But you know what? I kind of think that, and I could be wrong, but okay. So y'all probably gonna turn y'all cameras.
I'm just gonna eat these M&Ms while you talking, and I'm gonna just drink what I'm drinking.
Okay.
M&Ms today because I feel like
I kind of feel like he wants her in that position, one, because that's what they agreed upon, and that's what he's always wanted. But when you think about it, when Tisha is outside of the home, taking care of business, that's when she's doing everything but. So it's almost like he want her at home because that's what you good at. You ain't good at playing with other people. You ain't good at socially interaction. You just ain't good at nothing else because you don't know how to act. So stay your ass in the house where I know you got that under control. And that's all I'm gonna say.
I thought she was getting ready to go somewhere way.
I thought that
I was gonna say, she ain't all that smart, but I didn't want to be too degrading. So she just don't play well with others.
Well, no, she doesn't. I also thought that it was not the time for her to bring up her and Mel's beef. Like, you having a romantic dinner with your husband. This ain't the time for us. We can have this at the pillow talk time. This is romantic dinner time. Although he took it, to where he took it. But I really think that, and maybe, and is that when he started talking about she just needs to stay at the house? Because I remember her bringing up them going on a little trip and stuff, and how she didn't trust Melanie because they had said, they were going to squash it before, and it didn't get squashed.
But she the reason no nothing ever gets squashed.
Yeah, because she keep holding on to stuff.
Everybody else be ready to move on.
Yeah, I just didn't think that was the time. You having sexy time with your husband. Have sexy time with your husband. Now keep in mind it was a turn off with the you just stay at the house now. You ain't gotta do all this stuff. This master's degree you working on, you really ain't got to do that. All this other business stuff you want to do, you really ain't got to do that. You can really stay at home with these children. If we're in a panorama now, get at home and teach them kids how to do A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Said, that's really what I need to do.
He's like, we don't need the extra money.
I
ain't gonna lie here. You let me catch one and be like, girl, I got it. I'm be like, have at it, sir.
But I got to do something. I can't be at the house. Kids gonna drive me crazy.
Here doing what I gotta do on the side. But you want to handle it all? Go ahead, sir.
Okay. So she was coming from a point of I feel like I need to contribute. I think that's what I gathered from that conversation. Not necessarily that I want to get out here and be a boss in the world, but I want to contribute to our situation. I think that's where she was coming from, and I think he was like, "Nah, dog, I really don't need that. I really got
that." Her better point would have been, "I want to not lose myself by being just." Or not just. I
think she knows how to articulate that.
Myself, raising the kids and being your wife, and I want to improve on myself when I get to a point where I want to go back into the workforce. Right. Because stay-at-home mom is a job in itself. It's a job in itself.
I commend y'all because I can't.
It doesn't mean that you are less intelligent or not degreed or anything like that. And I think we've talked about this a lot of times where, I remember, especially when I was a little younger and I was at home with kids, there's a lady at church wanted to give me a pamphlet about going back to school and getting my degree. I was like, you want me to get this to somebody? And she was like, no, this, for you when you're ready to go back to school. I said, for my master's degree or doctorate? What am I doing? Because she was assuming that I came home from school and I did not
take care of the kid.
Yeah, and I didn't come back with a degree or whatever. And I'm like, but how do you know that this isn't my choice? You just decided that I stay at home because I can't get a job. You did not even ask me. You don't know anything about me. You don't know if this is the agreement that we have right now. You don't know if this was a life aspiration. You don't know anything about that. So it is, my thing is if this is both of y'all life aspiration to, be a stay-at-home mom or have somebody stay at home, cool. But when it doesn't work anymore, you do have to come back and you have to re-examine, the terms and conditions of things. The problem with Marceau is Marceau don't like change, especially if he did not initiate the change. Mm-hmm. And so therefore, because he didn't say it was okay for her to go back to school, she ain't going back to school. What is this? What is this? God. And then I ain't fooling with that. But so that was her thing. If he don't want her going back, she shouldn't go back. But then the other side of it is she doesn't have to contribute to the household financially. Right. But what she can do is keep her mama out the house. That would contribute to the house great.
I think if she kept her mama out the house, maybe Marceau would be okay with her doing half of the stuff that she do. I feel like if she was able to get that part of her life in order and in check and say respectfully, mama, I need you to stay your tail in Birmingham. I'm good. If I need to bring the kids to you, I can. But if you're going to stay, I need you to stay right on in Birmingham. I need to do a drive-by drop-off and keep it pushing.
Yeah. And that's, I think the biggest problem is if you being quote independent means that your mama have to be in here in our space, then I'm not good with that.
Yeah.
But um if we can get all this stuff handled without your mama being a part of the equation, then whatever.
Right.
Then maybe you do wait for the kids to get a little bit older. If you feel like your mama is the only person you can rely on to watch the kids while you out, and you know that there's a problem because she causes a lot of stuff to go on.
And bring 100 kids with her when she come watch your kids.
Yeah, she got at least 4,000 other kids coming in the house. Then maybe this is not the time to go back. Go to school, do it online if you can. But there's got to be some middle point where both of y'all can come to terms with, okay, I want some things to happen, and, I want to do, change and evolve. And then he's going to have to give a little bit and maybe be at home some with those kids.
I don't think he's willing to really do that either. Because I've seen that.
That's a problem because they his damn kids.
Yeah. They're your kids.
Those are
I had to watch the kids.
He just happened to father them.
Those are her kids.
Those are her children. He just happened to father them.
Yeah, because I think he's had a problem with that in the past. I know she had something and he was mad because dinner wasn't cooked or something. She was like, because I had something to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, to be honest, girl, get you a dedicated nanny. If that's what you want to do. I remember her saying
he can't do it though. See, this is one of them.
But this is what I'm saying. I'm saying this because if it's a problem with whatever his name, Marceau, not being they got too many Mars going on. Everybody's name sounds like him on this show. I can't get behind it. Was that a coincidence? Or
I don't know. I
do that?
Out of M, and they still messing me up.
So I feel like if she took some type of initiative to work it out without involving him, he probably would be okay with it too. I do think it's a problem that he got a problem with watching his kids. That's a big problem. Your kids are gonna have everlasting issues later on down the line because they're gonna feel like all dad cared about was that damn construction company. He didn't give a damn about me. But
his daughters are gonna have daddy issues.
Yeah, they're gonna have daddy issues. Off the cuff, they definitely gonna have daddy issues. But if she worked it out, because I feel like she feels like she has to go to him for everything, and kind of like she has to get permission. And I remember her saying that the way she learns, she can't do it online. She gotta be. I didn't like online school when one of the millions of times I tried to get my master's degree till I said, you know what, I ain't finna do it. I ain't finna do it.
And I prefer online. I hate sitting in the classroom.
I don't have I'm a visual type of person, but I can't do this online back and forth. I don't like that. Look, give me my assignment. I do it. I print it out and you put it in your hand. And then the very last time it wasn't the last time. One time that I had to stop going to school is I was getting my business degree and they wanted me to take some type of finance or accounting class. I said, what the hell? This ain't even what I'm trying to do. I just want a MBA. That's all I want. And so I just want to run somebody's company. Y'all got finance people for that. And they didn't have the class in person. Like nobody on the campus taught the class. I had to take it online. I said, nigga, I can't add and subtract. Not well. I can, but I can't. Math is not my high point, okay? So I need to be in front. I need to be at the chalkboard. I did this right. Y'all be adding them extra algebraic equations and stuff. Anybody got time for that?
You should have called me. I got my MBA. You should have called me.
I should have. Because I couldn't. At that time, I was like, I need to find somebody to take this class for me because I can't do it. I couldn't find nobody to take the class for me. But because I would have my 3.9
you have the degree. It said, or you'd have the degree. That's how it is. So,
right.
If I could find somebody to take the class, I'd have the degree by now.
Well, yeah. Yeah. But I was like, I only took the one math class and I took a political statistics class. I was a political science major. That's it. The political statistics class was easy. Mm-hmm. You put this right here and that right there, and there you go. I said, yes, I can do this. Let me go to CNN and get them the political statistics. I can do this. In that college algebra class, we had a whole study group for the whole class. Because although our math teacher wasn't foreign, we understand what was coming out of his mouth.
I'm not sure.
Oh, so I'm not great at math, but but I like to be in the classroom, so I get it. It's certain things I can do. I can write a paper. If it's just nothing but writing, I can do. But those extra classes where I got the add and the B and the C go over here, but the X over there, I need to sit in front of somebody showing me how to do that. That's just me personally. So I mean, that was her issue.
I do get that though.
Yeah.
Like, and I agree with you that some people just have to be in the classroom, and then other people need to, can be distance learners. But again, the problem is Mar him.
That Mar right there.
He's
the
just
Mar belong to Tisha. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's just a chauvinist, and there's never going to be anything that she can present to him in order for him to want to.
She don't need to present it. That's what I'm telling you. You just do it, Tisha, and tell them, I ain't listen. This what's going to happen. I'm going to go to class.
But
you got a problem, call me.
But look at when she does come to him and says what she's going to do. He picks it apart till she loses confidence. Uh-oh.
What was that?
What is that?
I touched something.
Oh, okay.
So what a lot of times what ends up happening is she'll come to him with stuff and he will find a way to dismantle it and to also mess with her self-esteem because he knows where her confidence is shaky. So he's skilled at doing what he does, which is keeping her feeling like she's inferior. So, gotta say, you got to know your skills and craft it and be able to hone it perfectly. So I think that's the thing. And that's why I said, if he was any kind of husband, he would know that this is something that his wife really wants and that
it's important to her.
He would take the time. He would make sure that she has all those things in place and tell her, hey, don't worry about it. I know you really want to get this degree. I know that you're working hard to improve on yourself, and I'm really proud of you, and I want you to have these things. And he'd make it happen. Yeah. But the truth of the matter is she could have a whole nanny. She could have she can have a French maid. She can have all that stuff, and they can all be cute and everything. And at the end of the day, he going to still pick it apart. He's not going to be grateful for it. Because even at dinner, he was kind of grateful for it. But at the same time, we could have just been at home. You could have cooked me a steak or something. There's always going to be some type of
issue with what she does.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, this was great. But, you could have just really done this at home. So he's one of those guys that will make you feel bad about self-care. Because if you're not catering to him and his every need today, tomorrow, the next day, whenever he ain't thinking about it, then she's gonna always feel like that, and they're gonna always have that dynamic in their relationship. So I don't think no matter what she can do and whatever she says or whatever, he's gonna find a way to, mess it up. All right, so real quick, because we got about 3 or 4 more things we're going to talk about. Let's Mel and Martell's conversation at the drop-off. Just wanted to say I hate that wig, and we can move on.
I need her to get, girl, who is not your friend? Because they not telling.
It looks like an entire hat, though. It looks like an actual hat.
It is.
Normally has such a great sense of style. I don't know why ain't nobody told her the truth about that wig.
That looks like the I don't give a damn wig. Like, this has been a day and you gonna get what you get wig. Like,
I need her to stop. Like, don't do that no more. Everything else be cute except for that. And you recycling it. Every time I turn around, you can't go one episode without wearing that thing. It's not cute, girl.
Yeah. I want her to get undepressed and don't wear that.
Right.
Don't wear that.
I'm tired of it. Okay, drop off.
Yeah, so to me, that, and I'm gonna just say one last thing about this. Other than that, the type of argument that they're having right now shows me that this is a couple that ain't really done. But right now, they just nitpicking and arguing.
She tried to walk away.
She always try to walk away, and she knows that he's gonna say something. Here's the thing: you've been with somebody that long, you know their pattern. You know they're gonna say something to cause you to come back and say something else. The way you go ahead and stop the cycle is stop responding and reacting to everything, because he's getting exactly what he wants, which is to engage longer in a conversation with you.
Yeah.
And she knows that she got a background as an educator. She know how to walk away from stuff. Like, she's smart, but that's why I said she ain't quite ready, because we could have had that conversation and I would have been like, oh, okay then. Well, all right, well, take care of your kids. Oh, ain't no bottle, cool. They got a store right around the corner from where you live. Gonna get her a new bottle or whatever. But I see y'all later. I'm out. Love you, kids. Move on.
Yeah.
But they're not ready. Maurice, Jalen, and Kimmy have this conversation, and we can keep this quick too. Let me tell you something. Maurice is not.
Oh my God!
All a mentoring type when it comes to kids.
We said this before, though.
Go ahead.
We said this before. We said Maurice need to find somebody that this is their job to mentor.
Yeah.
Not. It feels bad. I got a son, and he's saying he need A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and I'm not helping him. Jalen was like, okay, let me dial this back. I don't know exactly what it is I want to do. Period. But you need to. I did several things. Kim has shut that all the way down. You know why you did all them things? Because you didn't know what you wanted to do. Boop, mic drop.
Right. We can stop this conversation right now.
Right now. We can cut it short. That might have called a whole family meeting. He had refreshments and everything. I was taking notes. I was like, why you got notepads and pens?
Right, like, water down, bruh. Like, we just can't have a conversation. Mark is so intense that even his good intentions, because he's type A-ish in some ways, that it's a turnoff. Like, I get that you want to help me, but you're not helping me because you're not giving me what I need for help. Like, I told you what I needed, and you told me that was not what I needed.
Right.
So he and Marceau, his brother, have a hard time listening to people. When they've set something up in their mind that how it's supposed to be and what they're going to do, that's all that matters. And I'm glad that Kimmy stepped in. I'm glad that Jalen told him to back off. Let's just talk about this later. I'm trying to figure out what I want to be. I'm not like you.
Right.
I don't know unequivocally what exactly I want to do. I'm gonna need.
He didn't know what he wanted to do. That's the truth of the matter, because he did so many different things. He up and decided, I'm gonna go to law school. Sorry, where that come from? I thought you was in real estate. I thought you was fixed credit.
Fixing credit, real estate. Like, bro, you in about 100,000 things. But see, he calls it, when you look at him and all the stuff he calls that multiple streams of income. You let somebody else do it, then you don't know what you want to be when you grow up. So it's all about packaging. So anyway, glad they had that conversation. I didn't need that on there.
I need people to stop saying that baby's slow too. I just wanna. I need people to stop saying that Jalen is slow. You think he is? You look so guilty. Like, well,
I never voiced it, but every time I watch him, I have one of these moments. I don't know what it is. It's just something. I've never said it, but I do be like,
I'm saying that he is slow, and I'm like, so he got a whole college degree, and he was a cute. I know they ain't pledged no slow boy. Look,
just because you learn differently don't mean you don't want to be part of the organization.
I mean, that's like pledging radio. That's all I'm saying. So
I do think that there is. I think that you can tell, like I said about some other people, I do think that there is a slight bit of, I don't know if it's social and not necessarily emotional, but social and academic.
You think he's somewhere on the spectrum?
He could be, and it could be that, I don't know.
I
I
think
can't
he's just
say.
uncomfortable with the camera. I think. I
I
could be
think I'm
wrong.
listening to how he talks. I'm not
I
listening
got you.
at the way he's looking at the camera and
I
everything.
got you.
But the way he talks tells me that he's gone through a lot of, therapies. He's probably had someone work with him, speech wise, because speech wise is a little bit like, okay,
Yeah.
it makes you kind of slow down and go, let me listen to him.
And I think that's why Kimmy, of course, that's her only child, so she's going to be protective. But I think that she's extra protective of him because of that.
Yeah, like he's capable of doing anything, but I think it's just going to take him a little bit more time than someone else. He kind of let me tell you who he remind me of. You ever watch the show The Good Doctor?
Yeah,
I love Sean,
and I haven't seen my baby in a while. I got to go get caught up.
So like he's got all the smarts and everything, but there are certain things that you don't pick up on because he's autistic, right?
Yeah, he's autistic.
So yeah, I mean, and what we find out a lot of times, stuff that we call people awkward and stuff. A lot of times, then we find out that those are just different disabilities and things that they have or challenges that they have. Oftentimes are misdiagnosed or not even diagnosed at all, and somewhere on the spectrum. So I can see that he possibly, it took him a little bit more time, and that's probably why she's so proud of him, because there may have been challenges with him growing up, and now he's almost up to speed where he could be as a young adult. But she also don't want him to regress by constantly having this pressure from Maurice on him.
So big
headed. He got to pick a career, and right now he's seeing the world open up, to him and saying, like maybe I do want to try this, but it is, I don't know.
I mean, but I'm one of those people where I just feel like it's so unrealistic that just because the person reaches the age of 18 or 21 or they go to college, that they're just expected to know what they want to do the rest of their lives. Like, had I chosen the path that I wanted to take, I would have been in the world of beauty. I would have been, gone to cosmetology, because in Chicago, we have vocational high schools where you can actually take your licensing and be.
We only had
whatever you wanted to be when you came out of high school. So had I chosen my path, that's what I would have done. But because I was one of those kids, I listened to my mother. My mother was like, "No, you too smart for that. You going into business." So what did I do? I listened to my mother.
Yeah.
So when it was time to graduate, I really didn't have a plan, because I was like, well, hell, I didn't do what I wanted to do.
Yeah, that's what
I didn't, but I was one of those kids where I was just like, okay, well, let me apply. I got into every school I applied for.
Right.
So I ended up at University of Illinois. But when I got there, I was like, okay, I was good at drafting, so maybe I'll do architecture, or I love Claire Huxtable, so maybe I'll do poli-sci. I had so many if, thens, and maybes, and I ended up changing my major because I did not know what I wanted to do. I just knew that I was smart. Yeah. I knew that whatever I decided I wanted to do, I could do it.
Right.
I ended up being in speech communications because that's what I latched on to.
Yeah.
And I was a good writer. So they were like, well, take business and technical writing. I'm like, okay, well, you good at this, so take HR. Okay. I basically went through college having somebody tell me what to do because I did not know what I wanted to do.
Right.
Gotcha.
And like I
tell people, graduated, my first job was on city council for the city of Chicago. Go figure.
Right.
Big money at 21 years old. But it wasn't because that's what I wanted to do.
Right.
I'm just good at a lot of shit.
Yeah.
That's what most people are. And that's why I say a lot of times we don't give kids credit, but young adults. we don't give them the grace to try to figure it out for themselves. You know, a lot of times we get stuck in, you need to know what you're gonna do. I always tell people the only people that I know that are actually working in the field that they started out is the doctors and maybe the lawyers. But you know, and that's because that was just something I always wanted to do. Hell, I wanted to be a lawyer for most of my life. But I'm like, had I known being a sexuality coach was a thing, you think my ass would have gone and done all this stupid stuff? No, I would be a sexuality coach.
Exactly. I mean, look at it. I'm 42. Last year, I started 3 businesses doing stuff that I wanted to do.
Right.
I do legal insurance. That's because I studied law, you know, and hell, we need it now. So now I do legal insurance. I love fashion, so I sell jewelry. You know, I like, you know, the kinky stuff. So I'm on have this team. I sell bedroom candy. So
that's what we do around here. That's what
we do. But I'm finally happy because I'm like, ooh, I'm interested in this stuff and I can make money doing it, winning. You know,
right.
So I think we need to give our youth just a little bit more grace. We always need to give them a plan, but we need to give them a little bit more grace because I'm 42. I just figured it out.
Yeah. We're still figuring it out. You know, to be honest, a lot of us still don't know what we want to be when we grow up. So, and that's the thing, like, you know, because Maurice, Martell, and Marceau grew up, I guess they all grew up kind of poor-ish. Their whole thing was to make money. I don't feel like they necessarily were following passions as much as they were following money. And that's the thing. For a lot of these folks, like, you know, I'm checking, somebody's at my door at this time. But yeah, you know, when you think about stuff like that, you know, you have to understand that some people follow their dreams and some people follow money, and it just is however work is how it's going to work. Okay, so let's roll on over here. After that conversation, I don't know how they ended up back in the notes, but anyway.
Right, I'm looking like
that retreat. I don't know. Sometimes when I click undo, it's like, no, let me just add some stuff from last week. No.
Not what I asked you for.
No, that's not what I said. So, you know, let's get on this retreat and let's just spend the next 10 minutes because we ain't going to be here for an hour and 30 minutes. We're an hour and 5 in. And I just want to talk a little bit about this retreat because really it can be summed up in a few sentences.
Well, Yonla should have been there.
No words and we done. All right, we'll see y'all next week. You hear me?
This just should have been one of them. What's the name of that movie? Fight Club.
What happens in Fight Club stays in Fight Club.
Listen. Look at this, y'all. We got this poor thing that was not ready for this clash. Kimmy and Destiny both look like, what have we gotten ourselves into? And the only problem is, so you got them talking about the breakdown of the relationship. I felt like she did a good job introducing everything and trying to set the tone. And like we talked about, grounding is one of the things that you do to reconnect yourself, not only to nature, but also kind of level out those hormones and anything else in those thoughts to kind of be in a meditative or just a relaxed state so that you can have a real good conversation.
Healing starts through the feet.
Yes, because I tell folk outside, I even tell some of my clients, look, go outside in your backyard and just take your shoes off and go stand in the grass and just breathe. Let this air hit you. Let the sun hit you. Take some deep breaths and just, now if you got allergies, go take your allergy medicine first because don't be coming to me.
Well, I can't just go in the direct grass though. I be done died.
Look. That's why I said, take your allergy medicine. But there is something to be said about connecting yourself back to nature so that you can be open. And so what I'm seeing is that Melody understands that she wasn't necessarily cordial over the past season or so, and also recognizes that a lot of the stuff that was happening with miscommunications, and then also her own you know, just being so caught up in everything going on in her marriage, she may not have been the best friend,
right,
for everyone. And I think that's something that's understandable, and it's also commendable to be able to be self-reflective and say, you know what, I may not have been, the best person to do this. I may not have been the best friend or whatever. And I just want to let you know where I'm coming from. But baby, let me tell you where she better than me. Because when Letitia said, I think this is BS, I'm talking about I would have steamrolled over her. I would have walked over there and knocked her dirt.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why I said Fight Club. Because I'd have tagged that ass. I'm sorry. You just not going to do it.
You're going to get steamrolled in this earth. That's what's going to happen. Okay?
Baby, you finna taste this earth today. So, I'm like, I cannot understand. The problem with Tisha is she says she's ready to reconcile and she's open to it, but at the same time, she already got her wall up. I'm like, I wish you could have that much, something and attitude about you with your damn mama.
Your mammy.
Okay?
Yes.
Because I'm sick of that. Every time you turn around, she huffing and puffing. But she cannot seem to be the same with her mom. And that's why she can't have good relationships with women. It's because she takes everything that she should be doing with her mama, which is talking to her, confrontation wise, doing all this stuff. She does it with, who she deems as her friends.
Mm-hmm.
And so then she go crying to Marceau, who be like, what you want me to do?
Doesn't make it make sense.
I'm telling y'all, the reason that I have given him many passes this semester.
It feels like a semester.
Y'all tell I'm working higher education, but
it feels like high school. Exactly. So semester. Yes.
The reason he's been given passes because, and this is crazy for me to say this, but she almost, the way that he has to talk to her, almost reminds me of how Cliff talks to old girl.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because he is like fathering her to a certain extent. Because he's like, teacher.
Mm-hmm.
If you went to somebody and extending an olive branch, and they told you this some BS, how you gonna take that?
Right.
How would you respond to that?
Yeah, and that, I think that is the biggest problem. The fact that, and I was telling a young person this probably about 6 months ago. I don't know, a little while ago, when we were talking about the relationship they were having with someone else. And when I heard, we were talking about, ups and downs and how do you know when it's time to kind of quietly, not, gracefully bow out. And I was talking to him and he was like, I feel like I'm having to be a parent because I'm having to be like, okay, yeah, let's do this. Let's do that. I said, but see, you when you sign on for a relationship, you didn't sign on to have a child. And if that person basically turns out to be someone you have to be responsible for in the way that you feel more parental than romantic, then you need to let it go. But you talking about 14 years in now. So imagine if this has been the dynamic of the relationship the whole time. So it's like I'm parenting you and then showing you how to parent your kids. I don't know. But they have a weird dynamic. And when it comes to that, they it's a very interesting and like you said, it's very much like Cliff and Child's about to say LaDasia.
The hair girl.
I gave her name, LaDasia. And that's what was in my head. And so the thing that you have to understand is that when you have a person that has deep daddy issues, because again, she was raised by a single parent, that's what you're going to be dealing with. You're going to be dealing with somebody that isn't a wholly and fully developed young person. So yeah. So yeah, that entire retreat was a shit show. They tried, and Destiny and Kimmy did their best. That's all we can say.
They need to stop trying. They need to let it go.
Yeah. And I
Thank you.
get it. You want everybody that you come into contact with. All you want your group to be whole and complete. You want everybody to kind of squash things, but they not ready. They, Letitia's very immature, and she's not ready to have those type of tough conversations. Nor is she ready to admit that she actually could be wrong sometimes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nope. Wrong button. But yeah, she has to look within herself, and I think that she owes it to everyone around her to kind of do some of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Agreed.
yeah. All right, any other whatevers?
No. Okay. Well, I can't wait to see the show on Saturday because I guess they're gonna sit down with somebody. I guess.
Oh yeah, I'm waiting on Saturday because it looked like she finna hand him his ass in that session. So yeah, Mel ain't playing with him.
Yeah, that's the thing. They've made it to the point where it's about to get real ugly, and it's going to be worse. It's gonna look worse than it's about to get worse, a whole lot worse before it gets better. So anyway, how y'all feel about this episode?
I actually give it like a 6 or a 7.
Okay,
I'm gonna go with 7. I'm
okay,
gonna go with
gotcha.
7.
All right, that's awesome. I don't know what I give it. I guess I give it about a 5.5, and I give it a 5.5. I just ain't nobody getting no high scores this year. It's just not gonna happen. But I'm glad that they're showing again. I'm glad that there's some movement happening, and I think that's more important to me than anything is that you actually do see movement from episode to episode. So everyone's not always stuck on the same thing. Yes, we talk about the same things, but we're also moving it forward so we can come to a resolution, or even get to a point to say there was no resolution.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So I'm looking forward to that. Y'all got anything else?
Nope.
Today is Wednesday. It's also St. Patrick's Day. And so Married at First Sight comes on or came on. So we'll be watching that and reviewing it on Friday.
Yep.
So
Yep.
you
Yep.
guys come on back and
Yes.
watch with us. Well, not necessarily watch the show with us, but listen to us review this show. We're gonna see what they done gave us for the evening. We sure appreciate y'all joining us this evening.
Thank
Ladies, thank
you.
you so much for your time. I
No
sure
problem.
appreciate y'all, and we will see y'all on the next time. Also, remember, like this video, share it, and also go to the YouTube page and subscribe because we sure need y'all out here in these streets. So, anyway, ladies,
Thumbs up.
it's hard out here for a pimp. So, so yeah, we'll see you guys later. Thank you, ladies, again for joining me, and we'll see you guys next time. Y'all say bye.
Bye.
Bye.